Imagine this. You're sitting across from someone who seems genuinely interested in your life. They're asking questions, nodding along, and you feel heard. Maybe for the first time in a while. But hours later, you're left feeling drained, confused, and somehow smaller than before. You can't quite put your finger on it, but something feels off. Here's what you need to understand. These 5 innocent questions reveal a master manipulator. And once you learn to recognize them, you'll never be caught off guard again. Carl Jung, the legendary Swiss psychiatrist who pioneered analytical psychology, spent his life studying the human psyche's shadow side. He understood that manipulators don't always announce themselves with obvious cruelty. Instead, they hide behind questions that sound caring, curious, even loving. But beneath the surface, these questions are traps designed to extract information, create doubt, and establish control. And the scariest part, most people never see them coming. Let me tell you something crucial right now. By the end of this video, you'll discover the 5th question that Jung considered the most dangerous of all. It's the one that can dismantle your sense of reality itself. So stay with me, because recognizing these patterns could change everything about how you protect your emotional boundaries. Question number 1. Don't you think you're overreacting? This question sounds reasonable on the surface, doesn't it? Someone's just asking you to reconsider your emotional response. But here's what most people don't know. This is what Jung called emotional invalidation disguised as concern. When someone asks if you're overreacting, they're not actually interested in your perspective. They're reframing your legitimate feelings as a character flaw. Think about it. When was the last time asking someone if they're overreacting actually calmed them down? Never. Because that's not the point. The manipulator is planting a seed of self-doubt. They're making you question whether your instincts are trustworthy. And once you start doubting your own emotional reality, you become easier to control. Jung observed that healthy relationships involve validation, even during disagreements. A genuine person might say, "I can see you're upset. Help me understand." But a manipulator, they'll make your emotions the problem, not their behavior. Ask yourself, who in your life consistently makes you feel like your feelings are wrong? Question number 2. Why can't you just let it go? This one cuts deep because it masquerades as wisdom. After all, isn't forgiveness virtuous? Isn't moving on healthy? Yes. But here's the truth. Manipulators use this question to avoid accountability. They want you to let it go before you've even processed what happened, before you've received an apology, before anything has actually changed. Jung understood that the shadow self, the part of us we refuse to acknowledge, grows stronger when we suppress it. When someone pressures you to let it go, they're asking you to shove your pain into your shadow. They benefit from your silence, your healing. That's not their concern. Real resolution requires acknowledgement. It requires the person who hurt you to take responsibility. But a manipulator will rush you past that step because they know that unprocessed pain makes you vulnerable. You'll be so busy trying to be the bigger person that you won't notice the pattern repeating itself. Pause. Notice how they never apply this standard to themselves. They never just let go of their grievances with you. Question number 3. Are you sure that's what happened? Welcome to Gaslighting's favorite opening line. This question is particularly insidious because it sounds like someone seeking clarity. But pay attention to the context. If you're sharing a memory, an experience, or a conversation you clearly remember, and someone immediately questions your version of reality, you're dealing with a manipulator. Jung wrote extensively about the collective unconscious and shared human experiences. But he also recognized that manipulators exploit our natural tendency to doubt ourselves. They know that memory isn't perfect, so they weaponize that uncertainty. They'll question your recollection of events, rewrite history, and make you feel like you're losing your grip on reality. here's what matters. Notice the pattern. If it happens once, maybe it's a genuine miscommunication. But if someone consistently tells you that your memories are wrong, that conversations didn't happen the way you remember, that you're confused about events you experienced firsthand, that's not someone who cares about truth. That's someone who cares about control. The most important part comes later, so stay with me here. Question number 4. After everything I've done for you. This question is emotional blackmail wrapped in a guilt trip. And it's devastatingly effective because many of us were raised to believe that kindness creates debt. But Jung understood something profound about human relationships. Genuine love doesn't keep score. Genuine care doesn't come with an invoice. When someone throws their past actions in your face, they're telling you something critical. They never gave freely. Every act of kindness was an investment they expect to cash in. They're building a case for why you owe them obedience, silence, or compliance. Think about this. Healthy people don't weaponize their generosity. They give because they want to, not because they're building leverage. And here's what really matters. This question trains you to ignore your own needs. It teaches you that speaking up, setting boundaries, or walking away makes you ungrateful. It turns you into a prisoner of someone else's selective memory about all they've sacrificed for you. But let's be honest. Were those sacrifices ever really about you? Or were they about establishing control? Question number 5. Don't you trust me? This is the big one. The question Jung himself identified as the manipulator's master key. And here's why it's so dangerous. It reverses the burden of proof. Instead of the manipulator having to earn your trust through consistent, trustworthy behavior, they make your doubt the problem. They frame healthy skepticism as a relationship failure. Listen carefully. Trust is not a light switch. It's not something you owe anyone by default, regardless of your history together. Trust is built through patterns of reliability, honesty, and respect. When someone demands trust instead of earning it, they're revealing something crucial about their intentions. Jung believed that we must integrate our shadow selves to become whole. But manipulators project their shadows onto you. Your reasonable questions become trust issues. Your boundaries become paranoia. Your self-protection becomes evidence of your brokenness. And suddenly, you're so busy defending your right to feel uncertain that you miss the red flags screaming for attention. Here's the reality most people never talk about. If someone is consistently trustworthy, they won't need to ask if you trust them. Their actions will answer that question. But a manipulator, they'll demand trust while giving you every reason to withhold it. So what do you do with this information? Pause. You start paying attention. You notice the questions that make you feel small, confused, or guilty. You trust your instincts when something feels off, even if you can't articulate why. You remember that healthy people encourage your clarity, not your confusion. Jung spent his life exploring the depths of human consciousness, and he discovered this truth. The people who genuinely care about you want you to think clearly. They want you to trust yourself. They're not threatened by your boundaries or your questions. But manipulators, they need you confused, doubtful, and second-guessing yourself. If this resonated with you, drop the word aware in the comments. Let's build a community of people who refuse to be manipulated, who trust their instincts, and who protect their peace. And if you found value in this, subscribe because we're diving deeper into psychological patterns that shape our relationships. Your awareness is your power. Don't let anyone take that from you. Remember, the questions that seem most innocent are often the ones that reveal the darkest intentions. Stay sharp, stay aware, and never apologize for trusting yourself.